Hi. Oh, sorry. Jump scare. I'm here now. Hello, hello. I turned my volume down a little bit. My gain is up too high. There we go. Okay, we're fine now. We're fine. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Hi. Welcome, Star. What did you think? Did you watch the whole thing? Did you see everything? I'm also eating breakfast, so I apologize. Sorry for the mouth noises. I've been up since well, I didn't go to bed till 2, and then I got up at 3, and then I couldn't go back to sleep, so I stayed up. I've gotten 1 hour of sleep. Nice. Yeah. I think that's just, it reminds, the good old days. Reminds me of the dark road drops from before. I still love that we were all clowned into thinking it was going to be a global release. And they got it 3 hours early. 4 hours early. I had a feeling, though. I was like, I'll get up at 3. Because that seems like a logical decision. But then I was awake at 1. And I was like, I'll just stay awake. But yeah. The music went away. Music, where'd you go? Music? There we go. Anyway, yes, what do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Tell them to me. I wish to know. I wish to know all of the thoughts. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. I mean, they've always been important, but it makes it really obvious. Obviously Sora, like most things, he just kind of fell into this. He was never intended to be the child of destiny. Xehanort was supposed to be the child of destiny, as we can see from, the ending cutscene. But because Xehanort failed and lost his light that was supposed to lead him back, he did not become what he was supposed to be, and so Sora was just like, well, I guess we'll go with the backup. Poor Sora, always the second fiddle. Because, I think Riku was supposed to be the backup. But then Riku also fell to darkness. And so, Sora was the third. Yeah. Right, he didn't lose his light because Sora's always with him. I loved that parallel, though. Man, there were so many Suruku parallels. As I knew there would be, because obviously Xehanort and Ericus are Suruku parallels. Don't fight me. Oh! You make a good point, T. Because, oh gosh, what's that? Wasn't it in Birth by Sleep that it said, 2 heroes, something about, 2 heroes of destiny? Yeah, hold on. Hold on. We're gonna do some searching. I pulled up this just in case, but we're gonna do some searching. I need a new one. Yeah, the Blaze of Stars. Yeah. Hold on. Window capture. I must edit you. I need window capture, not browser. Window capture. There you are. Gardic. There we go. Yeah. Hold on. We'll look it up. But because, it actually, it pertains, hold on. it pertains a lot to this whole ordeal. Um, um that's not what I want. Well, so okay, I'm gonna turn off the volume for a little bit of the music because okay, so first off, obviously we have Terra here, and he's traveling through the lanes between in his armor because darkness be like that. Um, and he sees light. Like this light.
This light,
Yeah.
it's so warm.
It leads him to Riku because Riku is that light. He's the pure light in this situation. Kind of like how Ericus is the pure light in the situation with Balder. Like Terra and Balder are like one and the same. Like they parallel each other so precisely because they're both used by darkness. They both like lost someone dear to them. Like they both lost someone dear to them that helped them lead to darkness. They killed someone that they loved because they thought it was the right thing to do because of what happened. Like they both fell to despair and they were both used. Like there's a lot of parallels there with Balder and Terra. But, you know, he was searching for someone of pure light to help purge the darkness. And so, like, what I found interesting, like, the most interesting part was, like, how Balder explained his reasoning, his rationale. Basically, like, there are two factions. There are people that are light and people that are dark. And then the overarching theme was no. People are made up of both, and they're very complex. And depending on which side you are, depends on if you see yourself as darkness or if you see yourself as light. So like Xehanort, for example, very much probably felt that he was doing what was right. He didn't want to sacrifice because honestly, it probably would have meant sacrificing Ericus. Because they have to find a vessel for the darkness, and Balder was that pure light. Like, Hodor was his sister. He lost the pure light of his sister, and so he got corrupted. And so Xehanort, maybe knowing that he would have to kill Ericus to trap true darkness if it came back, probably was like, well, Kingdom Hearts is the only way, do. And so he planned from the beginning to more or less, like, get those 13 lifetimes together to make Kingdom Hearts appear. That was another thing that I was interested about. Well, we'll discuss in a second, but let's look at
Away. Looks like all the things that once held us together.
because
Just push us further
he
away.
physically, like, he looks, because he stops, he looks back.
Light.
See? Light. Riku is light. He is pure light. And he gets corrupted either because of Xehanort's plan. Like, that's something that's interesting, too, if you think about it. Because Xehanort, at this point, obviously knows about Riku and about Sora. Because he lived on those islands. And I figure that he knew that he wasn't the child of destiny anymore. And so he was looking for Riku to be, like, he wanted to stop the child of destiny, which was Riku, from fulfilling the prophecy so that darkness would prevail. Because he'd been told that since he was little. So he intentionally corrupted Riku throughout his little lifetime and growing up. Whether they're related or not, I don't know. I do have a very strong feeling that Riku is a ancestor of Ephemer. In which case that would strangely make him related to Xehanort, and I don't want to think about that. But that's where we are. But I have a strong inclination. And it's not just the silver hair, you know. It's other things too. Like his the light purity, the proficiency with the Keyblade, the fact that he's on the Destiny Islands. Like, it's very interesting. But yeah, he's somewhere down the line, he's related to him. I don't know. Maybe Xehanort has a brother that he doesn't know about. Who knows? But yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, yes, light. So he intentionally corrupted the Child of Light, which he thought was Riku, but then when Sora stepped up and was the backup, he helped Riku come to terms with the fact that light and darkness should live in balance, because time and time again we hear from Xehanort that he's like, what are you? I have never seen someone who could actually hold darkness in their heart like this. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's what I want to know more about. And then Sora is obviously the actual, like, he more or less fulfills the role of the Child of Destiny, because, you know, he merges his heart with Ven, he creates the new being in Roxas and lets them live, and connects. He has the ability to see others' hearts and connect with them. So yeah, he's that Child of Destiny. And he is the key to finding the Lost Masters, which is interesting because some of them are back. Because as we saw at the end of 3, you know, Lushu braggy, who could have seen it, calls them back except for Ava. So wherever Ava is, I don't know where she is. I like to think that she's related to Sora. That's my headcanon, is that Ava's related to Sora somehow. But she also was one of the ones that sacrificed herself to trap the darkness. She was one of the 13. And that's something that's interesting too. Like, the 13 are never evil. It's the effect of killing the 13 of light that create shadow. So in a way, like, the nobodies had to be used because they were the shadows made from the humans that died to create the 13. So, like, there's always that 13 of darkness. And then it's also interesting when you think about the 7 of light, because, you know, all this time we were like, oh, people, because it's always been princesses. But as we've seen in this now, it doesn't have to be people. It can be the MacGuffins that create order in the world. Sorry, I keep toggling this. I'll get out of it. It can be like the MacGuffins that create order for the world, like they control the world order, and so disrupting the world order, you'll either I think they were trying to gamble to see if pure light would come out of it, because their whole shtick was it was pure light that came out of unending chaos or something like that. So it's the goodness in people's hearts prevailing over darkness, and if it didn't, then the world just fell. So it's interesting that the princesses basically took over that role in the main games. And now we have the new princesses of heart. And the new, the true organization, real Organization 13, I don't know. Whatever, they have tons of names. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm kind of just rambling. But it is very interesting to see. Well, oh yes, I completely forgot what we were actually looking up, and that was the cutscene. Aha! There it is. I saw it. Okay. So, here we have little baby Sora Miku.
Hey, I'm gonna head back. Yeah, me too. Sora?
What's
wrong?
Because this is our first instance of Sora feeling what's in others' hearts. And mostly because he now has Ven's. Yes, the way that he knows he's sad. And the way that Sora, like, feels that he's sad outside. And, you know, so Hello. Thank you. Thank you for thank you for following. Welcome, welcome. We're just talking about Dark Road. I hope you like Kingdom Hearts. That's what we're doing today. But yes, so that was interesting too when it comes to the way that Hodor phrased it. Where is it? I don't know if I actually have it. Yeah. I don't know if I actually have it somewhere. But she phrases it like I borrowed. I don't think I posted it. Yeah, I didn't post it. But she basically phrases it that she borrowed Xehanort's heart so that she could see Baldur again. Which I found very interesting. I didn't. Here, let me actually post that now. I see, because I was taking pictures on my phone, because that's how I play it. And so I was like playing the game and then taking screenshots and then playing the game and taking screenshots. It just kind of kept happening. Let me see. I'm going to post it under this one. And I don't know if you remember seeing the part where Xehanort clutched his chest when Baldur was filled with darkness and he came to her. Obviously that was Hodor, like in his chest. Like how Anna, oh, who are you? Bye, go away. Have a nice day, bot. Let's play the band game. Do 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 do. Where's the band game? Boop boop be doop. There you go. Nice. And band. Band hammer gone. Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, with Sora, when Anna got hit with the ice, and Sora was like, ouchies, because he could feel it as well. That's how I feel, because, Anna touched his heart. Like, he made that connection with her. And as we know, Sora makes connections with everybody. That's his goal. That's his job as the Child of Destiny. And just like how Xehanort felt the pain in his chest because Hodor was there in his heart when she saw Baldur, I think it's very interesting how borrowing hearts works. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by the borrowing hearts. It's here somewhere in my pictures. And the chains. Borrowed Xehanort's heart. There it is. Boink. Yeah, definitely. Oh, the parallels. Hi, Minty. Welcome. We are just talking Dark Road. All the fun stuff. Here, let me turn the music back on since we're being quiet for now. But yeah, so we were just talking about the concept of borrowing hearts. I just posted it on the thread. Spoiler warning, just so you know, if that wasn't obvious. Where is it? I just posted it. Yes, you can scream. Screaming is allowed. I don't know where it went, but I definitely did just post it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so she, no, I did not. I've been like setting up for stream and all kinds of fun stuff. But also, I don't know if when you were watching the stream, if you saw Damo, he posted previews of the fan dub they've been working on for Union Cross, so that's cool. But anyway, yes. So Hodor borrowing Xehanort's heart is really interesting. Because, you know, she asked him a favor, and I'm wondering, like, how they learn how to do that. Because she's dead. She's dead. There's no thing about that. But her heart was still there. So it's curious that she was able to transfer her heart into Xehanort so she could see Boulder. And then the chains are fun. And then him using No Name, Odin using No Name was like, yes! And then he used Master Defender at the other time. So he used both of the Keyblades that eventually Xehanort and Ericus get. So they're sister Keyblades. Because they were used by the same wielder. Just like Kingdom Key D and Kingdom Key Light. Very, very interesting. Because, as it was mentioned, Ericus became the true heir of light. Uh-oh. Did you try and link something? It won't show links. I'm sorry, Venti. I'm sorry. You can link it to me on Twitter. But yes, it's interesting that Ericus was chosen as the true heir to the Masterdom and light. And I think that's when Xehanort basically, you know, that was when he understood his role was, well, after he met Mom, or Jack. Jack. That was very funny. I loved the Master in this. He was great. A card. Did you link it? But yeah, anyway, we were about to watch this part because it is interesting that they talk about these two. There we go.
Somebody up there must
That's
be
why we
sad.
brought this up.
Up where? They say every world is connected by one great big sky.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's somebody up there in all those worlds who's really hurting.
I want to know who they is.
They're waiting for you to help them. Well, gee, do you think there's something I could do? Maybe.
Oh, crap. It's because my hotkeys are connected to...
Weird stuff sometimes I could do? Maybe they just need you to open your heart and listen. I don't know, Riku. You say some weird stuff sometimes, but I'll try it.
So cute.
Okay.
They're so cute. Aww. Look at the boys! But yeah, and then I think it says something... Maybe it's not here, but I know that it says... something about, like, the... Like, under the same sky, like, the world would be saved. Like, under the same sky, something like that. But it talks about two heroes, and so that's why the parallels with the whole Child of Light thing. You tagged me. Yeah, I'm intrigued by it for sure. Yes, it is the end of the game. Oh, it's at the end of the game, is what you're saying? Oh, okay. Like very end of the game? That's Aqua's.
There's always a way.
Oh, here we go. Found it. Thank you. But because I want to know who's saying this. Like, who's the narrator in this? There's Terra Ventus Aqua. In time, the world would be saved by these two heroes who stood beneath the same blaze of stars. So, I don't know. Lots of star motifs. The world would be saved. Like, it's all because also, where did this second prophecy come from? Because we know about the Book of Prophecies, but where did this second prophecy that the player character talks about come from? It's towards the end. Because it says that there's one special child that saves the world from darkness. They discovered it in Scala. Interesting. So then does Ephemer... Because again, the Book of Prophecy is fulfilled. Like, that was the Book of Prophecy. Was that the 13 and the 7, like, the world all messed up, you know, basically gets rewritten into Scala et Caelum, which Ephemer and Skuld and them create. Mostly Ephemer. Renowned Keyblade wielder. This one was just Baby Nort. I feel for him. Baby Nort. He's a good boy. But yeah, so the first was the prophecy where there was the manuscript written by the Master of Masters that detailed the future. And then they learned the light was to expire and darkness prevail in Scala in their second lifetime, which I guess that's what we'll be learning in Missing Link. We'll be hearing that prophecy in Missing Link. That's what it seems like it'll be, because we learned about the Book of Prophecy through Union Cross. So we'll probably learn about this Child of Light or Child of Destiny prophecy in Missing Link. That's my guess. But yeah, Child of Destiny. Feel, share, and embrace what others felt. Connect their heart, become one. The light's master. Which eventually he does become. Oh, okay, so question. What do we think about Braggy? Do we think that he was Lushu the whole time? Or do we think that when he was in the underworld and got killed by Baldur? Or like, because we see a scene, we see a scene of him getting like completely smashed by this purple laser thing, right? Which we don't see in this cutscene. And then we see this cutscene, where he basically, because maybe when he was in the underworld, or Lushu was hanging out somewhere floating in the ether, I'm not sure. Because he had Brain's body before. He stole Brain's body. And then I guess Brain has a second, maybe that's the second lifetime that you get. Or it's a copy. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think, something tells me he wasn't Lushu the whole time. But maybe like one of the times when he was traversing the worlds or going in the land betweens or something like that, Lushu hitched a ride, because his goal was to find the proper vessel, to be the sacrifice to kill true darkness. And so Lushu wanted to take over Baldur's body, because that's basically what this is saying. Is he's saying, oh, I can't be you, like I can't use your face because people like are worried about you, you're already causing too much trouble as it is. So he's basically saying you cause too much attention as a vessel. He wants to keep this body a little longer. So that's what. Oh, Dark Road Twitter did a thing. What'd they do? What'd they do? What'd they do? Oh, from Nomura? Oh, look at Xehanort! Wow! Pretty. Somebody translate, please. Q&A. Oh, someone translate, please. I need, oh gosh, what's her name? Audrey? Is that her name? She always translates real quick. Wow! Look at him in the clear. Oh, you can't see it. Look at him in the clear umbrella. Wow! What a handsome fellow. And that's the evil coat. So this, from what we understand, God, time in this game was everywhere. 7 years, 9 years, 1 year, 2 years, 64 years, 65 years, 54 years. Like, what year is it? Just tell me what year it is. I don't know what year it is. But this is young, like, Master Xehanort. So this, I think, is when he had just recently become a master. Like, you know the scene when he was meeting with Ericus in the graveyard and they were putting down the flowers? Like a little bit after that. Like once they became masters. That's what I'm thinking. But look at him! Wow. What a fun guy. I know very little Japanese as far as like reading it goes. Hopefully someone can translate it really quick. Include spoilers up to the end of the story. Be careful if you haven't played the game. Question 11. それも missing a link の something. Hold on, I'm gonna make this bigger. So many. Okay, it's just talking about missing link. ゼアノートのお母さんらしき like I think it's asking about like いますか who's I think it's saying like who is his real mother. Hold on. We're gonna attempt to read. I like if there wasn't so much kanji, I could probably do it, but I'm really bad at kanji. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, 水はダークロードとして like now that it's over ゲームプレイヤーも yeah something about, yeah missing link Kingdom Hearts 4とlike translating on the fly, not good at. But he's talking about like it's setting up for future games is what he's saying. There's so much kanji. Why is there so much kanji? Why? パッチが売る筋はいバトルの Oh, I think this is saying like what's all in the patch. This is basically saying yeah, patch 5. Yeah, that's what this patch is. It's basically there's battle. ゼアノートのプレイヤーの yeah, it's like it's oh god. Someone please translate. Please, quick as the wind. And or regular Kingdom Hearts Twitter 5 years later post like that's what I'm expecting is that the regular Kingdom Hearts Twitter will post like 2 weeks from now like hey here's the patch that happened 2 weeks ago just so you know it's done. Oh gosh. Being so normal. Yes, it's a good idea to stay off Twitter. Yay. Yeah, I don't know. I am unable to read it very quickly. All I know is that this one is talking about Xehanort's mother. So it's basically saying like, Xehanort no, no, not this one. The one on the other page was Xehanort's mother. Tsukin Heto? Oh, ah, ha! It's answering why he's bald. Gato Sutono Shitaka. I think that's what it's answering. Cause this Toasa, cause this is to asari to shite imashita. Asari to shite imashita. Cause this is Xehanort no skinhead, which makes me think that's bald. Right? Skinhead? Yeah? But like something that he said constantly was that it was his resolve. His resolve was the reason his hair was gone. I'm like, man, I don't need resolve anymore if that's where my hair goes. Let's see. Other page. This one is the Xehanort no Kashi ki ona ga sukeru scold. Oh, scold. Yeah, scold ni. I think this is saying like the person whose hair, yes. This is saying like Xehanort's mom, because in the phrase it says, you know, Xehanort's mom whose hair is like scalds. Honto de wa arimasen ga scold to kanji wa arimasu. Missing link wa lots of kanji no demo aru node. I think this is basically going to be like you'll see them in missing link. I think that's what this is saying. This is saying that like it's not scold. That's arimasu. This is the arimasu. But missing link, we'll find out about them, is what that says. So scold, and we knew that. We've been known that. Because if Ephemer is his great-great-grandpa, there's no way that Scold can be his mom. Like, maybe she's related in some way, but obviously it's not his mom. Because that would be weird, and the timelines are weird. Then this says, Master do, no. Do, then, Master Oden ga something de atta to wa. He said something like this means to say something, and so whenever you see these brackets, it's because they're saying, like, that's what they're saying. They said this. So I think they're asking, like, what did Master Odin mean, or what did he say? I know I'm so bad at kanji, especially I haven't looked at kanji in forever. But yeah, he's basically like, what did he mean? Oh gosh. Oden ni mo. I think he's basically saying like, because remember he went off to like do a cozy retirement home somewhere, and I think they're saying, ミッシングリンクで枯れます。マスターが言いました。So I think that this is basically saying he's retired, like he's no longer a master. This is what he's saying. So he was a master, like imashita, so in the past. あるマスターにされていましたが、それはロープロープのロープOh, rope? Like the chains? Whatever that kanji is, I rope. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on. Sorry, I have the music off. It shouldn't be off. Here we go. This is fine. But yeah. Someone better kanji translate, please. Everglow. Everglow just posted. No translations at this time. But from what I can read and understand, is that more or less everything will be answered in Missing Link. That's what it's saying. セノートが something に、darkness に that's what this is, darkness にすると色、oh, the eyes. Oh, yes. Okay, so this is talking about like when his eyes became gold. Yeah, no problem, Minty. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good sleep. They're asking about so like I think this is asking more or less like because when it went from silver to gold. I thought そうですね。ただ darkness のgold 白にyeah, so white に yeah, so like this is talking about gold and white, this the shiro, so like this is kin, Pomoimasu, so I think Pomoimasu is that one. Is this Nomura answering this? Is this Nomura? Kingdom Hearts. ありがとうございます。Is it Nomura? Yeah, I don't even know if this is Nomura. I know, I'm trying so hard to translate on the fly, but it's hard when I don't know kanji. And I can't even tell if this is Nomura. Like here, hold on. I keep forgetting that you can't see the screen. Yeah. Yeah, just ありがとうございます。Kingdom Hearts.リズムゲーム？リズムゲーム No. What is this? What does that say? Reveal yourself to me. What do you say? Where's the last page? There it is. Oh. Kingdom. Hatsu. Rikuge. Rikuge? No. Do? No. Rikuge? So many things that I don't know. Anyway, okay. While we wait for Chama to translate this, yes, while we wait for someone to translate this, we will talk about. Okay, have fun. Goodbye. Work is nice. Have fun at work. We're gonna talk about. Go back to Braggy. We were discussing whether we think Braggy was always. Like, his body was always Braggy's. Or if he took him along the way. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So yeah, I'm honestly not sure. Because obviously the whole point here was that he was trying to find a new vessel. Because if Braggy died, and then he mentioned it at the last part. Because obviously he can't go around if he's supposed to be buried here. Like, he's supposed to be dead. So he can't be himself. So he has to basically find a new vessel and or, I don't know, make himself look different. I'm not sure. So I'm assuming that's when he either uses Bragg or starts going by Bragg. And puts on a different face. Because, yeah, Xehanort doesn't remember him at all. Like, when they're doing the studies and everything like that. So, he obviously would remember Braggy. But he even says here, I don't have it linked, but he says, like, physically in the game that he'll make people forget him somehow. Not sure. But I'll keep this body a little longer. It's interesting. Because then I wonder if in Missing Link we'll figure out what happened to Brain's body. Because obviously he had ditched Brain's body. So I'm curious about that. What else? True Darkness is this part was interesting. Where True Darkness confronts Xehanort. Even though he says he's not True Darkness. We stand by the light only to cast shadows and beget darkness. You with Ericus, me, my sister. Because he's basically calling himself a parallel with Xehanort. Like, he knows that Xehanort will be a good vessel one day. To meet his ends. Xehanort's like, no! But then Xehanort loses track of his light, which is Ericus, and falls to darkness. Which almost Riku does, but Sora doesn't give up on him. And therefore, his light helps bring him home. That was a great parallel. There was so much good Xehanort stuff. Oof. Yeah, when the light disappears, we lose our purpose and are swallowed by the void. Like, they mentioned void and chaos so many times as darkness. Like, chaos of emotion, like they walk through the void of the lands between. And then this is him debunking the idea that he's true darkness. This is him saying that he is the unknown. That which you fear, and the fear is what gave me shape and form. But it was Baldur's fear. It was Baldur's fear or fall. Like, ironically, it was Baldur's fear. Hi, Star. Ironically, it was Baldur's fear of falling to darkness that made him fall to darkness. So it's like, whoops. But I think in a way it's because he relied too heavily on the light. And I think he was worried about, like, he had this idea in his head that everything was very black and white, you know, that there was no in between. Like, there were people like Ericus and there were people like Xehanort, which was like darkness and light. But people are more complex. And then characters like Terra or characters like Riku or even Aqua now, because Aqua, you know, fell to darkness too. Like, they show that there is a way out and that there is more complexity to people. And Sora, you know, too, in the better part of things, because, you know, he has his, like, nightmare form and angry, angsty form, all the angry forms. But I think it's just showing that there is complexity, which was the whole goal of this thing. And Hodor, his sister understood that, but he was so blinded by just the pure light that he didn't see it. And so as soon as he, like, ironically, of course it took 7 days for him to fall to his depression. But because everything's 13s and 7s, everything. But so this is what made him fall to darkness itself, was the idea that he wouldn't have this pure light, and that trying to believe in anything above, like other things than the pure light, it made no sense, right? So it's interesting when you think about it like that. We're gonna make this screen a little bigger. There we go. But yeah. If you no longer have hope for this world, purge it. I know, I knew it was gonna happen though. I knew it. Because if you look at his parallels with Norse mythology, like the death of Baldur and that whole idea basically brought about Ragnarok. Like that was one of the, it was really connected with Ragnarok. So I knew that Baldur would be the reason, but I thought there'd be more destruction to Skala, but there really wasn't. It was mostly just killing 7 children. Whoops. Actually, like what? 14? Or no. 12? Because Ericus and Xehanort survived, but he offed all the other ones. And then so darkness, the fear of the darkness took hold of them. Purge the 13. So this is what gets, like, I'm so intrigued by this. Because again, you know, this whole time, I personally was thinking that they were evil or darkness to begin with, but they weren't. They never were. They were lights that had been turned into darkness. And maybe that was just me misunderstanding the prompt, but I always thought it was just like, oh, they're evil. We must gather 13 evil people. But no, it was corrupting the lights into shadow. Because after the death of each of those, like, they had to die so that they could become shadow and darkness. So they were plunging those lights into shadow. It was never gathering darkness. It was taking the light and turning it. Anyway, this was really cute. This was just, oh gosh. This is just the Sariku parallel. I was like, hey, look. You know, oh gosh, you know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna watch it. Birth by Sleep, here we come again. Where is it? Where Aqua's like, if he falls to darkness, it's your job to bring him back. Hey, look, hey, look, Mom, it's Suiku. Where is it? Where she finds the boys. Where are they? Aqua. Was it pretty early on? I don't remember when it was. It's an Aqua story though, right? That's Terra, that's the boys. I want the boys with Aqua. Where are they? What? There it is.
Too young to know now.
Quit treating me like a kid.
Hey, what are you laughing at?
I can't help it.
Oh, crap.
Hey, what are you laughing at?
I can't help it.
This is not it. This is Peter Pan. Where's the boys? There are the boys. There they are. There they are. I don't mind watching a little bird by sleep. It's the Papu! I also want to know where that came from, too. Hopefully we'll get that missing link.
Tara. Ven. I hope we're ready for the storm that's coming.
Like, where'd the legend of the Papu come from?
Hey, wait up! Too slow, Sora. See you at the finish line.
I love this part! They're so cute. Babies.
One more time. You just got lucky. Huh? Huh?
The voice actors did such a good job. Oh, kids. Blink.
Ugh.
I drink my tea, don't mind me, while we enjoy this.
This boy looks so sincere. Just like Tara. And this one, he's a spitting image of Ven.
That's because Ven invaded his heart when he was tiny and made him look like him.
One of you might be special enough.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna pause. Oh no, I hate that it keeps doing that. We're gonna pause because, wow, Aqua, only one of you. Two of you, both of you can't be Keyblade wielders. Only one of you will be a Keyblade wielder. One of you, only one of you might be special enough. Sorry, smaller kid in the back. You are not special enough. I'm sorry. You are not special at all. Uh-oh, they're both special. Oh man.
This boy looks so sincere. Just like Tara. And this one, he's a spitting image of Ven.
They're like, who's this strange lady?
One of you might be special enough. Hey, you two mind telling me your name?
Sure, lady.
I'm Sora.
And you?
He's like, I don't trust you.
Riku.
Riku.
Someone has already passed this boy the power.
That was
Is
Tara.
it Tara?
You can blame Tara.
Sora, do you like Riku?
Of course I like him. He's my best friend.
He's your best friend. He's his best friend. And then going back to the other parallels, where is it? It's not mentioned here, but when it talks about when they fight, when the epic scene where they fight, he's basically like, "Are you fighting me as a Keyblade master?" And he's like, "No, I'm fighting you as a true friend." I was like, wow. They're really in love, aren't they? But yes, anyway.
Good. So then if something happens and Riku is about to get lost, or say he starts wandering down a dark path alone,
Hehe.
you make sure to stay with him and keep him safe.
You do that, Sora. You keep him safe. That's your job.
And I'm counting on you to do it, okay?
That's That's your job, Sora. That's my job. If I'd come and rescue you, buddy. That's my job. Wah. That's his job. T, that's his job. I thought this one was great. Their faces are so cute, and they're best friends, and they love each other. Thanks for always being there. Yeah, I'm the best, right? Meh. Meh. They're very cute. There's Riku parallels. What else happened? Oh, this one was fun. I don't know. I mentioned it on my Twitter. But apparently, the ship or the boss that Baldur uses, it's called Ringhorn. I don't know how to pronounce it because it's Nordic, and it's based after the Ringhorn. It is apparently it's a ship of Baldur's that basically like ferried his body to the underworld. So they did their research because this ship, this Heartless, this darkness was what ferried him to the underworld because he died. So it's just really interesting, and I love the motifs here with the light and the halo, and also the swordy axe things with the cape. Very cool. I enjoy it. It is good design. But yeah. Anything else? Oh, this part too. This part also has a parallel. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. You know what I'm talking about? You know the parallel I'm talking about? Where is it? You know the parallel. There it is.
Funny.
There it is. There it is. Okay. Okay, shut up. Shut up. Hold on, I have to change my face. There we go. Ah, dang it. It did it again. Why did you do that? That was so rude. We're just gonna watch the whole thing because it's cute. And I wanna. Ah, what beautiful music their hearts make together when they sing. You know, just bros whose hearts song make dearly beloved. Nothing special. Nothing to see here.
That was amazing. What happened?
Sora.
Sora.
Sora. Funny. Just hearing that name kind of makes me want to smile.
Yeah, that's how he is.
What do you know? Riku and Sora. The sound ideas you two set free joined together. And when they did, they made a great and powerful harmony.
Sora can find the brightest part of anything
Wait.
and pull off miracles like there's nothing to it. It's pretty hard not to smile around him.
Wait.
Wow. No wonder the music sounded like so much fun. But I bet he's got you to thank for that. Having such a good friend means he could really enjoy it.
Wait.
It's like each of you is holding on to a little part of the other. Your hearts are always in tune, so they're free to sing.
I need to play DDD again.
Gosh.
This just wants me.
I can be part of the team someday.
This just makes me want to play DDD. But anyway, this is a parallel because this is when he basically was like, "Oh, I finally got a laugh out of you," and he says, "Make it hard not to laugh." I'm the one chasing after you from behind all the time. This was the freaking obvious Riku parallel, chasing after Riku. You know, like, always thought you were better than me. I thought I was better at you and stuff. And he's like, I did too. And then Light. Hold on to that dream of yours. Mwah. Mwah. Oh, and then did you see the I posted it in just words, but where he just freaking, there he is. Xehanort was just like, oh, this is when Vor decided that she wanted to go hang out with Vidir or whatever. He was like, her heart and mind are made up. It's like, I know that reference. I get that reference. I see what you're doing. Okay, before we go look at more of that, did someone translate it yet? Please, I need the translation. I would like the translation. No translation? No? Okay, that's fine. Where's Dark Road? Dark Road. Dark Road. North America! Did you come out? No. At least it actually posted when it came up, though. Which was more than I thought was gonna happen. Did somebody translate yet? Oh, he's so handsome! Oh. Do they have the translation or just the illustration? Refrain to do, story spoilers. Version 5.0 has been confirmed to arrive at a later date to remedy minor issues. There's no translation yet. Someone please! Please, I require it. I need to see. I need it. Okay, anyway, let's go back to talking about this new, like, true darkness that Odin decided to talk about. Oh, and brief mention, I love all of their designs. They are great. I love Hodor. She is my favorite. She's beautiful and kind and sweet. Baldur is great too. Obviously, he was my little my little meow meow. He's still my little meow meow. He was just corrupted. But Hodor is beautiful, and I love her outfit. And I want to know who they are. I'm thinking this is Heimdall, because they never actually like say who each of them are. Like they drop names, and that's Heimdall. I took a photo. Where are your names? I took a picture. There they are. Heimdall, Helgi, and Sigrun. So I'm thinking that this is Heimdall because he does the majority of the talking and it seems more like the leader type with that outfit. And then I think this is probably Helgi. And then this would make it Sigrun. But they're all, it's so funny, they're all sons and daughters of Odin. And it's just really interesting. Like, literally all of them. Like, and then Erd and Vor and Skuld are technically, like, the Fates. So it's really interesting to see their relationship with everything. But yeah, I'm thinking that this is Heimdall. And it was interesting because Vor was really concerned about Heimdall. And Vider specifically said that he had to change Heimdall's mind first before the others. So that, like, that makes me think that he's, like, pseudo-leader of their little upperclassmen group. But they also talked about the final world. Look, when they came to, we were in a world with a never-ending sky and ocean. So these are their dead bodies, right? Because their hearts, we'd lost our bodies. All that's left was our hearts. So because here they have their body, like, this is either their bodies or their hearts manifesting in Hades, in the underworld. Not exactly sure how it works. But what's interesting is this is a separate world. And yet they're still found here in the underworld. But they died in another place. So is this the underworld for everyone, even though it's a separate world? Like if you die in another world, in another area, this is still where you come. Or is death just a whole thing? That's what gets me. It's like, how did they end up here if they're not even from the same universe, more or less? And then, so then, are the hearts still in the final world? Oh, okay. Alright, that's what I was thinking. And yeah, Damo had mentioned it on the stream, basically about how, some of those stars that we talked to might have been them. And, or we might see them in Quadratum. Because that's apparently where you can go if you die. You can go hang out in Quadratum. This part was fun. One of the darknesses survived because it was hidden inside Ven and they couldn't kill Ven, so he had the darkness in him. But Xehanort separated it from Ven, so Ven is now pure light. And Vanitas is that darkness. I liked this line though, where he was like, "Are you just part of one big whole?" And Vanitas said, "No, I am my own being. I am a person." He says, "I am not a sum of parts. I am one being." And it's interesting that he knows Ventus's name. And again, it's because he dreamed about it, because he's the player, reincarnated, and or he could hear the player's heart. That's where I'm a little confused. Because the players we have confirmed had 2 lifetimes. One of the lifetimes was what we experienced in Union Cross. And the second lifetime is the one raising baby Xehanort. But then we are also part of baby Xehanort? That's where I'm a little confused. Like, part of our heart went into Xehanort to be reincarnated, but then we're also raising him? Oh, okay, please explain. We just help to give new life? Okay. Got it. I understand. I thought that's what, like, okay. So we just got reincarnated into whatever will be the missing link world. but just our heart is connected to Xehanort, which makes sense. Oh, you know why? I think it's because I assumed from the cutscene before we knew that the blue person was us. I think I assumed that we were the baby, but we are not. We were the one holding the baby. Yes, I get it. I get it now. We are not Xehanort. We are the player that is raising Xehanort. We are just connected to them because we love them. But yes, but he connected with our hearts, and that's why he could see our memories. Gasp! Chain of memories. It all comes together. But yeah, I liked the I didn't put it here, but when he talked about the 13 different lifetimes, and he's like, maybe a 14th so I can go on adventures. I think that's fun. That it's basically Sora was the 14th. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. But yeah, Sora was basically the 14th so he could go on adventures and explore like he couldn't do. Anything else of note? I thought they were cute. Tiny Aqua is adorable. I love. Tiny Terra, Angie face. Look at that hair. Very entertaining. This was just more Xehanort, Xehanort things. This part was hilarious. Did you watch that part, Star? Where Braggy was like, well, if Ericus comes, Xehanort's coming too. And Xehanort said, well, I feel loved. Thanks, guys, for choosing me last. And Ericus is like, oh, come on, it's okay. And Xehanort's like, nope. He tries to put his arm around his shoulder. And Xehanort just says, friend zoned. You don't get to put your arm around my shoulder. And then this one also. You two really do have a special sort of friendship. And then afterwards she was like, man, I wish I had that. And it's like, yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. You wish you had that kind of relationship. It's very special. Ericus is Xehanort's light after all. Just like how Sora is Riku's light. Hoo-hoo. And then this one. Where Xehanort's trying to put off that he's like, I'm not upset. And Hermod's like, no. You are definitely upset. Xehanort's like, no chance, no way, I won't say it, no. I love their faces. Zigbar, Lushu, Zigbar, whatever. Just toying with them because he knows. He knows. I love, he's like, oh, you're right. I will go with you if you take my boyfriend. Wherever he goes, I go. So cute. Ugh. Grandpa's in love. They went to gay heaven together. It's fine. They're both dead, but they're both together. Hey! Union Cross is trending. Nice. Okay. This was a cute shot of the whole group. Very fun. I like them all. And so, like I was saying, I think as it goes, we know most of them. Because we have... Because it's... Hold on. Let me get my pen out. It's Hodor, Vader or Vidar. This was Vala. And then he was also a V. And then this was Heimdall. This was Sigrun. This one is what's her face? Hela. Halal. No, Hilguf? No, Helgi. Yes, Helgi. It's probably another pronunciation of Hela. And then what was your name? V something. There were 3 V's. They were all together. They're like Valor, and Valdir. I should look up the enemy database because they're in there. I don't have it. Anyway, it's another V. I liked him. He was nice, strong, silent type. Whatever, ninja for whatever reason. But Heimdall is very androgynous. Like, I can't tell if Heimdall is male or female. It doesn't matter. But it's interesting how androgynous Heimdall is. But I love Hodor so much. I unfortunately, whenever I hear the word Hodor, just remember Game of Thrones. So that's all I think of when I hear the word Hodor. But let's see. Go back to internet. There we go. Okay, so I think I'm curious about the MacGuffins. So they're fighting true darkness and true light, right? Because they're told that true darkness is the enemy, and they have to, like, true light is the only thing that they can use to fight it. So what they're hoping to find is true light that shines even in the face of confusion and uncertainty, and they're forcing into existence by causing chaos, which seems strange. But like I said before, I think they're basically potentially sacrificing that world, because if they prove to not create true light, then they would fall to darkness, which we've seen many times. And that's basically what happens when the organization steals the princess, who is basically the one that preserves order. Because the rose was, before it was the girl, it's objects. I guess before it's the princesses, it's objects of light that keep the world order. So it's intriguing that it turns to princesses. Because they're gathering the 7 lights while simultaneously creating the 13 darknesses by killing 13 lights. It's a lot of stuff. Our friends, the ones of light that were supposed to fight with us. And that was the 4 that died. I'm still intrigued about that one. Yep, and then here's all the sons of Odin. Here they are. Heimdall. Sigrun. Balder. Bjor. Bragi. Hodor. Balder. Vala. I'm surprised that we didn't see Thor or Loki. which are the two most popular sons of Odin. I still think Loki is the agent of chaos. Like, I think that's Lushu's real name is... Oh, no. No. The Master. The Master's real name is Loki. That's what I think. That's still my firm belief, is that Loki is his real name. Because he is the agent of chaos. I know he's trying to, like, okay, I was bad, and because that whole cutscene that we have with him and Xehanort exists in Remind, I didn't save any of those pictures. Oh wait, I did save some of them. Let's see. I still love that Mom was like, you can just call me Jack. Where are they? Here they are. Oh, and him being called the Singularity? That was interesting. Because then is, I guess, Sora is a singularity in that same way. So you're the singularity, because the singularity is when there's a... So the hall, sorry, I'm just looking up, I'm looking at my pictures about the lanes between. So you're the singularity. Yeah, because here, I just posted it. I keep adding stuff to that thread just because I forgot that I didn't post it. Boop, boop, boopy doop. There we go. All right. So this part was really interesting to me as well. So when he's talking about Xehanort, this is stuff that wasn't said in the Remind, because this is after he comes back, like, trying on the coat. Are these messy feelings that emerge from love still light, or are they darkness? Just like the duality of different emotions, but I like that he pointed out love. And this too, the fact that he used to be a Keyblade wielder, more or less. And again, I think it's just because it's harkening back to the fact that he was the master of masters and had the other Keyblade wielders. But it begs the question, like, where was his origin? Because if he was before the time of fairy tales, you know, where did he come from? How did he see that darkness corrupted this world? I still am a firm believer of my very big, very extended idea that hopefully we'll see in KH4 about where the Master came from. I actually think that the Master is from Quadratum, and that there is an issue going on in Quadratum with karma, which is mentioned in the video game, the Viramix video game, how karma is affecting people's emotions and messing with their hearts. And so people are basically giving up their bodies and putting their hearts into these big mecha suit robot things. And the more powerful your heart, the more you can resist karma. And so they're being weaponized. And so the Master of Masters is traveling to other worlds and other realms to find where the darkness came from so that he can combat it. So what I think he wants to do is, I think that he's found this world in the unreality, or I guess this is technically this is the reality and he's in the unreality, but you know, it's his reality. And he wants to bring Kingdom Hearts to Quadratum to get rid of the karma / darkness that's infecting and purge it, because he knows he's learned about this legend here. So, like, he wrote the Book of Prophecies. He's the one that's orchestrating this entire thing with the grand goal of eventually bringing Kingdom Hearts to Quadratum so that he can purge the karma and save his reality. So like, again, that makes me really curious about where this Child of Light comes in, because obviously that's not the Master's plan. Like, the Master doesn't want the Child of Light. He doesn't want it to be stopped. He wants to purge the world because he wants it to be remade and or to get rid of whatever is affecting his reality. So that's what I'm thinking, is that he, like, whoever, whether it's Ephemer or whether it's somebody else that made up that idea about the Child of Destiny, which I hope we learn about in Missing Link, is the one that's working against the Master. And because the Child of Destiny is Sora and he's inadvertently linked with Riku, that's why I think Riku is able to cross over and find Sora in Quadratum, because, you know, they're saving it together. Like, it's their destinies together. Just how Ericus and Xehanort are so inadvertent, like, they're just linked. Their destinies are not separated at any point. They constantly are affecting each other. I think it's the same with Sora and Riku and Sora's destiny. And basically, now that Sora's in Lushu's original... Sorry, I keep saying Lushu. Now that Sora's in the Master's original world, I'm thinking that they're going to take it to the playing field. And since he's a Lost Master, like he says he's one of the Lost Masters, I think the idea here is that we're finding the Master's origin and we're understanding how to stop what he's trying to do and or fix his world a different way with using the Child of Destiny. And Strelitzia obviously has a role in it too, because she was taken from the data world and brought into this unreality to help. Basically, probably to be a guide to Sora. So that's my big theory that I've had in my brain for years. And I wrote a large, like, he is the singularity. He's the new singularity. Like, he's one of the points. Let me see if I can find the original document, because it is very big and it's filled with all kinds of stuff. Where is it? I need to find it. But no, that's been my big theory for a long time, is that if you look at all the cartoons saying, oh my gosh! Damo! Hello! Welcome! Hi, everybody! Now you get to hear my raid music. Hi, welcome! Yeah! So we were just discussing kind of a theory that I've had for a very long time, I'm trying to find my document because it's huge and it details basically everything that I was just talking about. Let's see if I can find it. But when the first ending, I forgot how long the sound alert is. I'm so sorry. Ace Attorney fans, that's for you. Okay, anyway, I'm trying to find the document. But, well, one, we were naming all of the kids. So I don't know what you guys were talking about as far as the kids were, but I feel like Heimdall is this one. Because they never specifically mentioned anyone except the V's. The V's had who they were individually, but the other ones they didn't necessarily mention. But Heimdall played a bigger role in, you know, the fact that they had to convince Heimdall, and they mentioned him, her, them by name several times. But these were my assumptions for the different characters. And then I was just going into my theory about the fact that again, I keep saying it. Mom is probably from the Unreality Quadratum, and he's using the quote-unquote reality of Kingdom Hearts to figure out how to bring Kingdom Hearts into the Unreality to stop his version of the darkness, which I think is karma. Let me see if I can find it. It's a very big document. Is it this one? I know, but what I'm thinking, and from what I kind of comprehend, you know, because he's here now, like, going off of the end of Remind, where he's in Quadratum with Sora and Riku, I feel like he has a main reason for bringing Kingdom Hearts over here, whether it's to purge it and bring darkness to this world too, because he failed in the other one, or whether it's to stop an even bigger evil. But it's just a theory. But it's interesting to think about. How's everyone feeling? What do we think about the ending? Overall, I'm pretty pleased. I know, yes, my brain hurts a lot as well. There's a lot going on. Oh no, depressed. We have Missing Link. It's okay, Missing Link is coming out. Missing Link is coming out. The beta is supposed to start this fall. Did you guys see the Q&A? It's not translated yet, but we were looking through it and found some interesting things. Oh, that's not that one. So they haven't translated it yet, but they're mentioning about, this is basically asking about if Skuld is Xehanort's, like they're asking about the woman that has hair like Skuld, and he's saying that we don't know her, but in Missing Link we'll probably be able to find that out. A lot of the Q&A is like, Missing Link is coming out, you should play it if you have questions. Like, that's a lot of it is that. This one is asking about his eye color change. Where is it? This one, no, where is it? Yeah, some of them are asking about there's an eye color change. There's one that I think is asking why he's bald. Where is it? Is it this one? Was it this one? Yeah, skin the head though. Like, I think it was asking about that. So again, my kanji is horrible. I just squeak by with katakana and hiragana, but my kanji is horrid. But and so he's basically talking about that there. What else do we have? One of them talked about when Odin, where's that one? Master Odin, doko desu ka? Skara Kairum to Missing Link de. Yeah, like this, it's saying like where is it taking place? And a lot of the questions. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm hoping for the full, like, I've been kind of zipping back and forth to see if the full translation was out yet. But again, I reading and writing very bad with Japanese. I'm much better at listening. But yeah, there's one talking about the color of eyes. All sorts of stuff. There's gonna be bug fixes. Yeah, well, it was funny. So we were talking about how he constantly was saying that it's my resolve. The resolve is why I lost my hair. But it's like, oh, I don't want that kind of resolve. Also, Xehanort looks very cute with the umbrella. I must admit. What else were we doing? Oh, there he is. What a good boy. But yes, we were just kind of browsing through things. I was trying to find my big theory document. That is incorrect. Oh, that was... I will find it eventually. But yeah, so basically what I was saying was that I had this idea that the Master was originally from the unreality, which to him is his reality, and came to Kingdom Hearts to find a solution, because if you look at the back of the game for Virum Rex, it talks about how karma is affecting people's emotions, and the fact that they stole Stargirl's body and her heart is the only thing left. What I was thinking was that people's hearts are stronger, and so they use those powers to fight against the karma or the darkness by putting them inside the robot bodies or other things. And so that's why her heart had to go to the final world to escape from being used. But her body is back in Quadratum. And the whole idea that now that the Master has seen the rise and fall of his plan to summon the 13 Darknesses and get Kingdom Hearts to help, he's like, well, didn't work here, so we're gonna try it over in the other world. But who knows? I'm curious to see more how Data is involved. Because Data is obviously involved. We learned that from Coded. We learned that from Remind. You know, there's somehow the Data world is also involved with it. And of course the Dream world. Like, oh, there's too many worlds. I will find that document. There we go. But yeah, so let's see. Oh, what are everyone's thoughts on Braggy? What do we think? Do we think that Luciu was braggy the whole time? Do we think that he took advantage of maybe one of the trips when Braggy was gone and took his body? Do we think it happened in the underworld? You think the whole time? Yeah. Because obviously we see him as Brain's body. We see him with Brain's body in the desert, or the Keyblade Graveyard. And then we see him having taken this most recent vessel. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I meant for Dark Road. So you think he was braggy the whole time? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's still, for me, that's still the hardest thing to comprehend is if he was, like, obviously Brain is Brain. Brain more or less got reincarnated into the state of Scala of, oh gosh, the new Scala, like the new area. He does have a type, yeah. I was making a joke earlier where he was like, if I move this eye slightly over to the left, then no one will know it's me. And then if I add an X to it because it's edgy. then no one knows it's me. Yeah. But I'm curious to see, because obviously the player one got a second life by being reincarnated into Scala, into this new area somehow. And then Braggy or Lushu took Brain's body or likeness, and Brain got rebooted, I guess. Rebooted is the right word, into this new world as well. So then I don't know if he just aged out and chose a new vessel like how Xehanort does. And then maybe because the timeline, yeah, that's the new one, rebooted. I wouldn't put it past them, honestly, with all the data that's involved. The next Switch game is rebooted. But yeah, because the timeline works out relatively for Braggy to have just aged into Bragg and him to have gotten that scar. Because, you know, if he stayed away from Scala and Xehanort and Ericus, no one else knows he exists. He even mentions in the game that he would make people forget him. So he could technically, as long as he stayed away from where Ericus and Xehanort were, he could keep the face. And if he ages, or, you know, he gets that scar later on, that he... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how nobodies age eventually. I know. Well, so speaking of fluidity, what was with that time? 1 year later, 2 years later, 7 years later, 1 month later, 64 years, 65 years. What timeline are we in? Is it 7 years from now, or is it 7 years from then? And it's 2 years after that, but it's 65 years and then 64 years. And this is very confusing. So many years. Just hopped back and forth. It was very entertaining. Oh, I found it! I did it. Behold. Behold the ultimate theory box. I cannot imagine writing the timeline. That's Everglow's job. Everglow writes the timeline, not me. Anyway, so this is what I was talking about. I wrote this way back when we learned that Ventus killed Streletsy, like was taken by darkness, everything like that. Yeah, you remember? I'm glad someone remembers. I had a lot of fun that day. I think Peachy maybe rated my stream when I was talking about it. But yeah, so here's my big... This was my... I went down a rabbit hole and was the meme with the guy with the posters on the wall. But yes, so basically there's a KH reality and then an unreality that we talked about. So in the KH reality, there's 3 different keys or realms. So light, darkness, and the in-between. Where the light is made of memories, dreams, and then data. Because as we learned today, the in-between can only usually be traversed by emotions and spirits. Physical presence can't effectively move through it without being corrupted by darkness. So it's basically like the in-between, the data realm. Your physical body doesn't exist there. And so in the quadratum side of things, you have same kind of thing. You have the different realms are the realm of sleep and dreams. You have the memories with the eyeball and the foretellers, which is light, and then data or Shibuya or quadratum. This poster is from the back of the Virum Rex game. And the reason it's here is because of the write-up. So it says here that after a long time, weapons have brought like consequences for humanity. The karma in this big word here that sleeps in humans, well, something about further, and the light mentioned in the night sky, so the stars, they chose to fight like while feeling the pain in their hearts. So this whole idea, yes. Oh, I don't know if it is just their version of darkness. I don't know if it's an acronym for something, or if it's just in capital letters because it's maybe an evil organization or something like that. Because they use these robots to fight the karma. But the karma that sleeps in humans accelerates further. Yeah, I'm not sure. Because again, this is something you probably will not see. It is a data mined back of the Virum Rex game that is hidden in the files. Then there's more stuff about what is eternal bond. That's why I think, oh, sorry, my head's in the way. That's why I think KH4 is involved with that eternal bond. Without a place to return, which makes sense now, because when you think about it, because Sora he doesn't have a place to return, because his heart and his body, like everything is messed up. So he doesn't have a place to return. Yes, I think it is in the game, but again, it's like on the back of the disc, so unless you're really looking for it, it's not very easy to see. Something all humans turn to panic. I don't know if that's panic, probably not. But just this whole thing was sort of going into that idea of, Mom came from Quadratum. He wrote Book of Prophecies, sabotaged and set up the foretellers to be these sacrifices, and had Lushu watch to see what was going on, to find one, originally the Child of Destiny, who was supposed to prevail, but in hopes to reset the world, and I think in a way reset his own world. I think the 14th life is maybe Sora. I think Sora is his 14th life, because Xehanort failed as the Child of Destiny. That's obvious. He set up the events that allowed the Child of Destiny to happen. So while we had best intentions as the player to help protect and raise Xehanort, probably at Erica Ephemer's request, because he's our good friend and the great-grandpappy of Xehanort, I think it fell by the wayside because Xehanort's light, which was Ericus, he got separated from his light, and so his light wasn't able to help him return. But thankfully, we didn't see that in Sora and Riku and Kairi. Like, they were each other's lights and helped them stay on the right path and return. And so that's why Xehanort failed, but Sora did not, because his lights didn't disappear. And if you think about it, here, we're going to go back to these. When it talks about well, obviously there was this cute moment here where he was talking about, obviously if you end up wandering into darkness, I'd help you find the way, which is also a nice parallel. And then when he's talking to Darkness Balder, one, it talks about the complexity of hearts, which I love. I really like this concept, and I like that Kingdom Hearts is exploring it. But here, so you and I, we stand by the light only to cast shadows and beget the darkness, you with Ericus, me with my sister. And when the light disappears, we lose our purpose and are swallowed by the void. So I think that's what happened here. So he lost Ericus because of his own ambition and his own will to see what he thought needed to be done, and in doing so separated himself from the light that was his duality, his equal. Which kind of happened, because originally I feel like Riku was supposed to be the child of light, but then he fell, and Sora was like, okay, I'll do it. Poor guy always gets roped into things. But he was Riku's light and helped bring Riku back. So now Riku's this like all-powerful, both light and darkness being. Who knows what he is anymore. And now he's trying to find Sora to get him back. This was just a funny, not funny, but this was just a little side bit. Yes, he is the road to dawn. He is indeed. He's a weird light, darkness, dream eater. Who knows what he is? But Sora is his light. He is very special. But yes, this part was interesting too. Oh, I felt really bad for Balder because, you know, Balder, in being so afraid of falling to darkness, basically spelled him falling to darkness. Because he separated the two. Like, he said there were only beings of light like his sister, and then beings like him that fall to darkness. So he basically, that fear of falling to darkness kind of was a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm so sorry, Mr. Balder. My little meow meow. But it gave it shape and form because he says repeatedly that he's not the true darkness. I know! I was just thinking that. I was just thinking... Oh, wrong one. That one. I was just thinking... Like, they have things against siblings. I feel bad for Marluxia. I feel bad for Balder. Strelets. You know, all of them. Like, why? It's not fair. Siblings in general just don't have a good time in Kingdom Hearts. And found families don't either. Because when you take Terra Aqua Ven, you know, they're a found family and they get separated. All these found families, you know, Roxas and Xion and Axel, these found families just don't have a good time. Oh, more interesting tidbits. Hodor borrowing Xehanort's heart. Obviously, Xehanort allowed her to do that, but I was just thinking there was that parallel at the point where Balder first appears and we see him in darkness and Xehanort clutches his chest. Obviously, that was Hodor responding. It's very similar to how when Anna got struck by Elsa in KH3, because Sora made that connection with Anna, and she being a princess of heart, he felt that pain as well. But I thought that was an interesting parallel. And you know, that's also interesting too, because when you think about it, they were dead. Like, all of their bodies were gone. It was just their hearts. So when Hades allowed them to come and be here to see Xehanort and Ericus, it's very interesting. Yeah, they were dead. But I did like the call out to the final world. It's very fun that they talked about that. And the fact that even though Hades is its own universe, all dead people go there. Doesn't matter if you're dead in that world or another world, you go there apparently. This Hades is this underworld is universal. Yeah, it's interesting. I loved these. Look at these kids. Aqua looks so cute. Oh, the MacGuffins. How do we feel about the 7 MacGuffins? What are our thoughts on them replacing the Princesses of Heart? Or the whole chaos order, true light, true darkness thing. How do we feel about that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Standard. Because, yeah, they had their own underworld. And technically, Kingdom Hearts has its own underworld. The final world is their underworld. Chaos. I loved that Mom was like, you can just call me Jack. Or what was it, Joseph? What were his, he was like, you could call me Jack or Joseph, but that'd probably be wrong. I'm just gonna call him Jack from now on. Theodore, yeah. You could call me Theodore or Jack. Thank you for using your channel points. Thank you for following. I appreciate that. But yes, I think the MacGuffins are interesting because in all the other iterations, they've been quote-unquote princesses. So these princesses of heart. Here, I'm gonna change our music. There we go. So it's interesting now that they're objects that, if they are lost, create chaos and disorder. And I was talking about this with Star earlier, but they're basically sacrificing this world. Because if they take the MacGuffin and the world doesn't find true light, they fall to darkness, right? Because they said they're hoping to find the true light. So it doesn't guarantee that that world will find it. So by taking these princesses of heart, by taking these MacGuffins, they could create, like, the world could fall to darkness, like what we see in KH1 when the Heartless take over, because the princesses are gone. So it's just interesting that Vider, I can't remember how to pronounce his name, is so concerned about not killing his friend that he'll let an entire world fall to darkness for the hopes of getting Kingdom Hearts to come. Based on some story that was told. Yeah, gathering those 7 lights, which were his friends, which is also an interesting point. There were a lot of interesting points that happened about this one. Yes. So this one, seeing that there were originally 13 ancient darknesses, but to create these darknesses, you have to kill the light. That's how the 13 come into existence, is by getting rid of 13 lights. Which I don't remember it being explained that way before. I just kind of, I guess, always assumed that there were just 13 pieces of darkness. Hey! It's going pretty well. We're just in the, Union Cross Dark Road rabbit hole. But yeah, it was interesting to me that to create the 13 darknesses, you had to destroy 13 lights. Because you would think that finding those 7 lights in order to fight the darkness would be easier than killing off 13 people to create darkness. Yeah, dark hole theory. But yeah, I just like that this was a nice callback to what we saw happen in the end of Union Cross. So most primitive shadows said to be true darkness, which were formless, and they had to get stuffed into Vin. And Vin originally would have had to die, but Ephemer was too nice. And he said, "No, I shan't kill my friend. I will send him away and trap the darkness here." But the darkness said, "Haha, I win." Yeah, 7 most powerful were imprisoned within the Masters. Who had offered? I don't think that from what we have seen, I don't think they offered themselves. I don't think they knew what was going on. Ava certainly didn't know. The Masters was kind of using them I think that was a creative liberty that you heard, Odin. But it is interesting that they became lost and that, you know, Mom was one of them. Speaking of Mom, where is he? The chains were cool. I like that he dual wielded. He used 2 different keyblades. That's not something that we see very often in this universe. So he was able to use No Name. And then in another cutscene, when he goes to save, I think it's when he goes to save Xehanort and Ericus, he uses the Master Defender. So it's fun that he gave Master Defender to Ericus, and then No Name was taken and or inherited by Xehanort. So parallels. We love parallels here in Kingdom Hearts. Where's my thread? Do 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 do. There it is. All right. Again, more complexity between light and darkness. Keyblade wielder, more or less. And then the singularity. I'm sure you guys talked a lot about singularity over with Damo's channel. Oh yeah. Nothing good comes from No Name. Because Sora is described as a singularity, right? At some point. Because he creates a singularity. That's what happens. In Remind. Yeah? That's what Chirthi is warning him, is that he's creating a singularity. And that's why he ends up in the finer world, question mark? Yeah. I think singularity is very similar to what like the meaning of singularity, and that is a point in time in which it contradicts what is supposed to or it should happen. Because Sora, you know, was supposed to fall to darkness, like the prophecy suggests, but he's like, frick that, I'm gonna do my own thing. And he instead rewrites history to save the planet, but in doing so sacrifices himself. Thus, not fulfilling the prophecy because he was supposed to prevail, because he was the child of destiny. And so that makes it curious because obviously we stole Xehanort from his home so that he could go live on the islands where darkness could get him. Even though, you know, because darkness did get there, but I think it was through the door, right? He snuck his way through the door because Riku, being curious little boy he was like, I'm going to open this door. It sounds fun. I feel like our lesson here is that Destiny Island parents need to teach their children to not, you know, talk with strangers and go to strange places. They're not very good at that. But yeah, so then when he was quote unquote strong enough to overcome the darkness, he was able to leave and travel to Scala to train, met Ericus, made connections with people, and then again, I think he personally was a stepping stone into the Child of Destiny. He himself was not the Child of Destiny, so that's what he was, a singularity. I just thought this was an interesting point. Living spirit and emotions only travel through here. But then if you don't got no spirit, no emotions, Ven looking at you, then they can go through. Were there any interesting points that you guys talked about on Damo's stream? Baby Nort, very cute. Yeah, I was curious about that. Where'd it go? Aha. Yes. So the fact that his second lifetime is basically going to be what we play through in Missing Link. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. So our first life was Union Cross, and then we got rebooted, Kingdom Hearts rebooted, into this new world that Ephemer made, and lived out probably a really long life, you know, judging from our hands. Our hands look very old. But yeah, so we must have learned about the second prophecy, which was this one, that light was to expire and darkness prevail. And so in doing so, maybe spoke with Brain. Yes, Brain is, yeah, he's a missing link. Yeah, we spoke with Brain. I want to know what Sigurd has to do with things. Because Sigurd is the one that's talking in the trailer. So, who is Sigurd? How are you connected? No clue. And was player brought back to life as a child? Or was it like Brain, where he just, like, appeared as an adult? Or as your previous self? I think it's going to be the latter. I think you're just going to appear in this world. Fully customizable, like your Kingdom Hearts, the Union Cross player. But with, oh, I mean, I guess it makes sense too, because Union Cross, you also had current characters to play with from the future. Because the trophy system also has current characters. Yeah, they definitely moved through time. Well, because they had to, because they, Ephemer, when he appeared, they're a wasteland. He had to build it from the ground up. But I do find it interesting that the statue is of, like, young Ephemer. It's not adult, older Ephemer that has several children. So, makes me curious why they chose young Ephemer in the fountain. The blood of Ephemer. Because that's the whole point of Missing Link, yeah? Because it's about the bloodline, quote unquote, which I definitely think Riku is the bloodline of Ephemer somewhere. Not just because he's silver with teal eyes. Yeah, young Ephemer helps Sora, yeah. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Because where did the other people come from? Did they come from other, worlds? Because Scala used to be where everybody from other worlds would come, so... It's like a refuge. I just thought this was cute. He wanted to see his mom, who had hair like the girl in his dreams. And the kids, he wants to see the kids, which is cute because he's talking to the player. Cute Ericus and Xehanort moments. I had a lot of those. My phone is just covered in screenshots from this game. Yeah, like, where did all the people come from? Ephemer, well, you know, if Ephemer could create the buildings and the plans from the fallen Daybreak Town, didn't they say that they were gonna get them out? So I wonder if it's basically the players reincarnated but for real, instead of, yeah, instead of just their memories. So maybe that's what happened. Yeah, right. Because technically, the four of them are still stuck in Data, aren't they? Like the ones that have the darkness? Because they stayed in the Data world. That's the question. Who's the mom? And in the Q&A, which maybe it's translated now. No, okay. My notification blown up. Don't see it. Okay. Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you so much for coming, Star. I appreciate it. Do we have translation? Someone translate it? Nope. Oh, okay. Here we go, a non-official translation. Appearance of a young man. Patch fix. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. Here, let's make it bigger so you guys can see. There we go. Thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate it. Yeah, definitely as we do more Missing Link stuff, as more Kingdom Hearts stuff comes out, I'll be covering it. I play all kinds of different games. Mostly these days Final Fantasy XIV and Genshin, but I doodle. I like Kingdom Hearts. All kinds of stuff. Skinhead. I was correct. Say notes. I am on Primal. It doesn't matter much these days because you can data center travel, but Famfrit. I am Primal Famfrit. And I have been wasting my hours in the Island Sanctuary collecting shiny Pokemon. I was right, Skinhead. I knew it. Not a very important issue. Fix the theory. Missed many years. Oh, he shaved it? Oh! Okay, we'll have to get the official translation, but that'll be very interesting if he actually shaved it as part of his quote-unquote resolve. And the darkness didn't cause him male pattern baldness. What else we got? Boink. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Master Odin's, he said, terrible fate. Yeah, that's what I was kind of translating before. Odin also had a master. Certain mission, which is in part in common with the figure in the blue robe. It's true. But I mean, you know, Ericus wasn't too much older than Xehanort, and he still had a full head of hair. I mean, Xehanort wasn't too much older than Ericus, I mean. I know, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, proof of his resolve, because he said that several times. And that would make sense. Because if he's trying to get, like, separate himself from maybe even his memories of those kids in his childhood or anything like that. Maybe he's separating himself from who he was. Or you know, maybe he wore that coat too much and he got a really bad case of hood hair. Yep, relationship with Scold. There it is. Yep, so it is not Scold, but they do know Scold. Hi, welcome. We were just going through, they posted a Q&A, and this is someone's very rough translation of the Q&A. But this is just confirming what I had read before, that Scold is not the mom, obviously, because the timeline would not work out, but they do have a relationship with Scold, but Missing Link will have the answers. Basically, all of these are like, please wait for the Missing Link release, thank you. touched by books. So they might appear in other places. Yeah, not completely devoted to the darkness. We kind of already mentioned that. Atmosphere very different. Scala-eyed Kyla, multi-structured. Oh right, because it's the new Scala-eyed Kyla, and that was the old Scala-eyed Kyla, so it's still Scala. Same place. The player from Union Cross. Yep. 2 times life. The heart melted into the heart of others again. Whatever that means. And then the last page. Thank you for translating. Yeah. So I think that's what we've learned. Yeah, his resolve. So he shaved it himself is the answer for the hair. Skuld is not the mom, but she is related somehow to his mom. We have... he wasn't always devoted to darkness. It's still Scala-eyed Kylam, but it's the new Scala-eyed Kylam that was rebuilt. The characters probably won't appear in other stories, except maybe side stories, not in other games. The player is the one in the blue robe. There's gonna be a patch. Yeah, I think that's mostly it. Yes, I think that's more or less what's happening. So, Union Cross player dies, gets reborn or rebooted into this new Scala that Ephemer has created, along with Brain. And we play as the missing link version of the same player that eventually adopts Xehanort and takes him away to Destiny Island to make sure he fulfills the prophecy, or the prophecy we think is going to happen, of him being the child of Destiny. Yes, we have not seen how it happened. We just know that Ephemer did it. And we know what it looks like. It just looks like... I don't know what Goth century that is. I don't know, it's like Gothic France-ish? But yeah, here's the original. Not, it's Germanic? I don't know. European. But yeah. So we were just kind of going over other things, theories. And him being the Lights Master, I thought that was interesting. Yes, I think that he definitely is the true child of Destiny. I think Riku was take 2 after Xehanort failed, and then when Riku was starting to fail, the Light said, "Nah, man, I'm gonna go to this kid over here. He seems good." That's why the Keyblade went to Sora. Yes, he did! I was mentioning that earlier. So he used Master Defender, which is probably his Keyblade that he inherited. And then since he was the main teacher slash head of Scala, he was also entrusted with keeping the Blade of Lore, which was No Name. And so in times of desperate measures, like what we saw with Baldur being taken over by True Darkness, he used it, but he also can use Master Defender. He's one of the few people we've seen that can use multiple Keyblades, of which we've seen Riku, Sora, Roxas, Xehanort, or wait, have we ever seen Xehanort using a different Keyblade? Oh, yes. His original Keyblade, the really pretty time stop one. Yes. That was his actual Keyblade. And then he eventually inherited / stole the No Name. Yeah, no, I feel my little meow meow, Balder, and Hodor. I love her. New favorite character who died instantly. All of them died instantly. Oh, does she use Master Defender? Oh yeah, she does, doesn't she? Oh right, because that's how she opens the land of departure. That's right. Yes, yes, yes. I remember now. Oh yeah. You know, I feel like because everybody uses the same keyblade, that these are just training wheel keyblades until your heart makes its own. That's how I feel about these. And then when you become a master, and when you find that connection in your heart, yeah, I feel like these are just training keyblades. And then eventually, like what we've seen with Sora, or we've seen with Riku, where they summon a keyblade from their heart. And sometimes you randomly get handed a keychain, like Kairi, and you summon a keyblade. You know, it happens. Keyblades are weird. I don't understand them. Because they're like a central mechanism, and then their appearance depends on the keychain that you put on them. But sometimes their appearance depends on your heart and how it's connected to your keyblade. And sometimes it's a keyblade that is passed down and inherited to you. And sometimes it's a keyblade that was part of this overarching plan to summon Kingdom Hearts. So I don't know. Oh, I, for the longest time, thought that the box contained Master's data. I don't think he has a body under there. I think his data and his being are in that box. But that's just my theory. It's probably not true. That's why the box goes with him, because he needs a vessel. Because the Keyblade is his memory that allows him to travel, and then he needs a vessel to travel into when he eventually, departs or finds the power that he needs. Does he have to eat? Did Xehanort as Ansem body in a suit have to eat? Because he was barely alive. He was basically Voldemort. He was just Voldemort. Sustaining himself. Who knows? It's true. Yeah, but then you have to wonder like where he came from. That's why I was thinking that he actually came from the unreality and was brought over here somehow and was trying to get back. And he's now, darkness is traveling with him to Quadratum. And that's why we see all the Heartless appearing in their quote-unquote real world. That's my theory, is that he's from the unreality. But who knows? Did you guys talk about the boat? I thought that was a very interesting little lore tidbit. The boss that Baldur summons. All the names were fun because they're like sons of Odin, and it's all Norse. So this is not a boat itself, but the name is based on it. So Hringhorn, the name of the creature that he summons, Baldur summons, apparently is the name of his ship. And this was the ship that he was floated down to the underworld when he was killed by Loki. So I thought that was interesting because this the ship that is used when he dies. Yeah. They doing their research over there in Dark Road. All those Nordic names. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yes, Xehanort killed him. But I don't think Xehanort is Loki. I mean, it would be fun if Loki and Thor were supposed to be Xehanort and Ericus. That would be very interesting. Because everybody else has Nordic names. Where was the list? I had a list. There. Though these are all the sons of Odin as told by a Nordic poem. So obviously you can see we have Balder, Veor, Vali, Sigrun, Heimdall, Hor, Bragi, all the names. So that's what they're all named after. And then, also interesting fact, Vor, Skuld, and Urd are actually the Nordic fates. So of, kind of like in Hercules where you had the fates that determine birth, life, and death. Skull, Urd, and Yor, Vor are all the fates, the sisters. So it's fun. Yeah, I was thinking, like, if Xehanort and Ericus are supposed to represent Thor and Loki, that would be very interesting indeed. Because Baldur's supposed to be this being of pure light, like he is the god of light. And so the fact that he was corrupted. Yeah, who knew? I know. I like how we all made the funny memes, and then the funny memes came true. Lucy was like, you know, if I change this letter around and become brag, nobody will know that I was braggy. Not a soul. And then if I add an X to it to be spicy, no one will know that I was brag. Oh, did we talk about these? So, obviously it's chess. But still, Alba and Aether? I didn't look those up. But when he was talking with the mirror about having to win against Xehanort with chess, I don't know the origins of Alba and Aether. Is that also Nordic? Oh, Viking. The Gaelic King of Scotland. Yeah, I don't know if that pertains. Oh, they're Latin? Okay. Is it white and black? No. Oh, good. Awesome. Nice. Makes sense for Skyla Ed Kylum. Yeah, they didn't really mention other worlds, just the worlds that we've seen before. Which makes sense, because they would have to make completely new assets. I liked all the parallels. So when Xehanort said, you know, her heart and her mind are made up. When Vor decided to go with other guy. This guy. Who's very cool. We like melanin here in our game. I liked how diverse all the characters looked. I thought that was fun. This was a fun set of characters, especially Ninja Lad. Ninja Lad was very entertaining. He's like, you know what we need? We need a ninja. That'll complete our group of 7. A very quiet ninja. Androgynous Heimdall. Valo, who's just Riku with long hair and anime glasses. That was really funny when she pushed up her glasses. And then my beloved Hodor. Though I was saying to start earlier, I can't not think of Game of Thrones when I hear Hodor. And then Viking Man back here. Sigrun. Xehanort and Eric is flirting because they're boyfriends. A lot of this was like, hey, just so you know, Xehanort and Eric are boyfriends. Very special sort of friendship. I love their faces with this one. It was very cute. All right. Oof, I'm a little tired. I'm going at this for a while. Were there any other... Oh! Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much. I'll be probably streaming later today because I'm going to be continuing through... I've been doing the Genshin Impact quests. We're in 3.0. And then I think I'm going to be continuing with Final Fantasy tomorrow. But yeah, I just wanted to point out that I really liked Vanitas claiming himself. He is his own being. He is not just a collective darkness. He is himself. You go, Vanitas. Alright. But yeah. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that, you know, obviously Xehanort knew about the true darknesses. Yeah, in a literal sense it is. But I'll just leave us with these cuties. Thanks for always being there. I'm the best, right? They're so cute. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. Yay! Thank you for following. I appreciate that. I definitely think when he first was created, he was part of the darkness, because I think in the original, like the start of the conversation, he talks about how one of the darkness survived in the Ally of Light, which was Ventus. But when Xehanort forcefully separated them, the darkness now had its own vessel in Vanitas and was its own being. So I think that's what he's saying here, is that he's no longer part of what that true darkness was. He's his own thing. He is Vanitas. And he is darkness. And that's okay. Because the world should have darkness and light. I think that's one of the other things that this whole thing was trying to show us, was that darkness and light are both needed. Create a balance. Oh, and how did we like the fact that it took 7 days for Baldur to go crazy? Of course it took 7 days. It wouldn't make sense for it to take a day that's not 7 or 13. But I did think it was interesting, since are there 7 stages of grief? 9 I can't remember. But he basically, like, each of the days goes through the stages of grief. How the world without her may as well fall to darkness, and I'll be the one to do it. Plunge the 13 lights into shadow. Oh, 5 stages, yeah. I was going through it and it's like, okay, there's denial, there's anger, there's, you know, blame. He never reaches the acceptance stage. Baldur. Meh. No justice for these kids. They just die. Hopefully they'll be reborn somehow. Okay, yeah, I think that's about it. All right. Well, again, thank you all for coming and stopping by and staying so long. I appreciate it. I'm sure many of us are running on 0 hours of sleep. I know I am. But have a wonderful weekend. Have some good rest if you can make your brain stop running from all the Union Cross stuff. But I guess we'll see what the future brings. I'm excited because the beta is supposed to open up this fall for Missing Link. And I don't know about you, but I like the idea of a Kingdom Hearts Pokemon Go. Sounds fun to me. Gotcha or not, I will still play it. But everybody have a wonderful weekend. If you followed, I appreciate it. If you didn't, that's okay. I also have a Twitter where I tweet various things and I doodle a lot. So if you want to follow me up there, you can as well. Aw, thank you. I appreciated it. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. Bye.